Oh. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् षडाननकुङ्कुमरक्तवर्णं महामतिं दिव्यमयूरवाहनं रुद्रस्य सूतं सुरसैन्यनाथं गुहं सदाहं शरणं प्रपद्ये ॐ शरवणभवाय नमः। So we have we are seeing this beautiful stotram. It's a composition of Shankaracharya ji. And in this slide, you see the beautiful picture of Tiruchendur on the banks of the ocean. We have a very beautiful temple dedicated to Subramanya Bhagavan. And this beautiful temple dedicated to Subramanya Bhagavan, it stands over here as a testimony to this divine son of Shiva and Shakti, that this divine son stands on the shore of this Mahasagar, this great ocean, and it's a symbolic representation that whether one is on the mountain or one is over here at the seashore, there are trials and tribulations on this journey of a jiva's life. And in this journey of the jiva's life, when the jiva is trying to cross the ocean of samsara, this temple is a reminder that the body temple itself is always at the seashore. And this body temple keeps on taking form time and again, only to be merging into the ocean of creation and to rise back again. It's a very poignant reminder um, about the very jiva and the traveling that the jiva does through this life. So that is what is uh, pointed out in this particular shloka. यथाब्दे स्तरङ्गालयं यान्ति तुङ्गा तथैवापदसन्निधौ सेवतां मे इति वोर्मि पङ्क्तिर्नृणां दर्शयन्तं सदा भावये हृत्सरोजे गुहं तम्. This shloka, yatha abdehe tarangaha layam yanti tunga. The waves of the ocean, they come to an end on the seashore, and the waves crash against the very earth, and layam yanti tungaha. These waves come to an end. Tatha eva Apada sannidhau sevatam me. In the same way, O Subramanya Bhagavan, apadaha, all the different afflictions that hit my life, each affliction in our life is just like the waves of the ocean. In the same way, Sannidho Sevatam Me, you please save me from these afflictions. Other than you, who do I have in this universe to complain? Who do I have in this universe to surrender? Other than you, who is there to protect? You know, the journey of this jiva, when everything goes well in life, we are so happy and we get caught up in the life trials. But when any types of, tribulations or any types of sorrows, any types of pain comes, who do we call? We pick up the phone, we call our best friend, we call our mother. Most people call their parents. uh, and the assurance that one seeks, because these are the people who have brought us into this world. We seek their approval, we seek their comfort, we seek their blessings. It is almost instinctive that, we hear any bad news or we go through anything. The first thing, we either call our parents, our best friend, somebody who we can lean upon. So for this jiva, who is in this journey, learning to lean upon a spiritual pillar in our life is the greatest support that we can ever embark upon in our life. Because any person that we learn to rest our head upon, any shoulder, each one of them are also part of this created world. One day, even they will go away. So, learning to rest upon the shoulders of Bhagavan, that bhakti gives us something known as astikya buddhi. It allows us to believe. Whether we believe in God or not, we learn to believe. We learn to accept. We learn to accept problems. We learn to accept situations. Instead of losing our strength, we gain great amount of strength when we learn to lean upon Bhagavan. And that is what chanting of these stotrams allows us to do. Stutyartham stotram. When we chant, it is allowing our mind to dissolve. And that is what is said over here. Iti ऊर्मि पंक्ति नृणाम दर्शयंतम सदा भावये हृत्सरोजे गुहंतम. Sada hृत्सरोजे, in my own lotus of my heart. Hey guham. Guham can be taken in so many different ways. It can be taken as in the very cave of the heart, the cave of the buddhi, the cave of the intellect, the cave of the mind. Or Guha is also one of the names of Subramanya Bhagavan. He is the very secretive power in the whole universe. Velaguru Swami, he is known as, because he has the Shakti Hasta. And that Shakti is hidden within all of us. We have that power. He, after all, he is the son of Purusha and Prakriti. So Prakriti has gifted him that absolute Shakti. Her entire power she has given to this divine son. And this son, Guhamte, that Shakti is within me and you are within me. And in my heart, I remember that and I learned to put the best foot forward and move on in my life. Thou stand on the seaside town of Tiruchendur, exemplifying this truth that mental worries get destroyed when the devotee surrenders to Bhagavan. Urmi Pantri Nrunanam, of the human beings, the very waves of all worries. Continuously, our Gurudev used to say that, we have acquired dexterity in being Varyananda. uh, as a pun on sannyas, that what we really need to do is give up sannyas of the worries. So that is very beautifully brought out over here. गिरौ मन्निवासे नरायेधिरूढास्तदा पर्वते राजते ते धिरूढाः इति वब्रुवन् गन्धशैलाधिरूढः स देवो मुदे मे सदा षण्मुखोऽस्तु. So, hey Shanmukha, hey Shanmukha, the six-faced son of Bhagavan Shivji and Mother Parvati, it is said over here, Girau Mannivase Narayeti Ruda. You stand on this mountain. There used to be a great mountain. Now there is a giant Shila, a rock over there on the banks of this ocean. It is actually part of the temple itself. The closest to the ocean, there is this huge rock, and there is also a cave inside. When we go to Tiruchendur, when we go to this temple, we can see that. So you stand upon that, proclaiming that whenever the devotee climbs this hill, ye adhiruda, when people climb, tada parvate rajate adhirudaha. On this parvat, rajate, you reside on this mountain, O Shanmukha. And when the devotee climbs this hill and when they have a darshan, there is a beautiful, on the other side of this, there is um, on part of this mountain, there's a beautiful murti carved inside the mountain itself of Shanmukha with all his six face, and he's fighting this demon. We will see the Shurasura when he fights with him. So the whole picture is carved over there, and it is said that when the devotee climbs that, all what is Asura? Asura is nothing but our own asuric tendencies. And sometimes, we are so stubborn, and that stubbornness creates so many issues in our life. We don't want to give up our way of thinking. We don't want to give up our habits. And true spiritual growth is, when we give up all our comfort zone and embrace what is. So our inability to interact with this world, it is created by us, by our own shortcomings of our own thinking patterns of our mind, our own emotions. Um, Somebody says something and we know we are not supposed to be affected by it, but we get affected. And that's these six faces fighting the asuras. Every day we are putting up a face. With friends, it's one face. With enemies, it's another face. With neighbors, it's another face. Continuously, within the Mayavi world, uh, we have Shanmukha. We will see how the faces originate. It is very divine when we understand the Vedic symbology of all these faces. So when the devotee climbs this, iti bruvanta gandha shaila adirudaha, it is said that anybody who climbs this, saha deva mude me sadarshan mukostu. It is said that when the person climbs this, itiva bruvanta Gandha Shaila Dhiruda Tada Parvate Rajate. I said that, he Rajate, he resides, but there is a pun in the words over there as well. That when one just climbs this tiny little mountain and comes over there and does namaskar, it is equivalent to climbing the king of the mountains, Parvataraj, which is none other than Kailash. So you reside on this mountain, and residing on this mountain, you uh, drive out all the impurities of devotees. And if the devotee does not have a chance to see Shiva Tattva resides on this highest mountain, Kailash, because he is the very son of Shiva Tattva. So, seeing him is as good as having the opportunity to go in the northern portions of the country and this climbing these Himalayas to have a darshan of Kailash. So may this six face Bhagavan Saha Deva Mude may he towards me, may he bless me. May he always remain compassionate towards me. Mudam also means happiness. May he bring about the inner joy in my life. महाम्बोधितीरे महापापचोरे मुनीन्द्रानुकूले सुगन्धाख्यशैले गुहायां वसन्तं स्वभासालसन्तं जनार्तिं हरन्तं श्रयामो गुहन्तम्. So, the Maha Ambo Aditire Mahapapa Chore. You stand over here on the banks of this great ocean, and Mahapapa Chore. You are a thief that steals away all sins of our life. We think of the Puranic definition of sin, the 18 Puranas that Vedvyas Maharshi Ji has talked about is, you steal somebody's wealth, you steal somebody's property, etc., etc. You take away something which is not yours. That is considered to be sin. Or you bring about hatya to someone, you injure someone, you hurt someone. That is considered to be a sin. Then we move to the next layer of scriptures. From Puranas, it is Itihas. So Itihas, we have Mahabharata and we have Ramayana. What is the sin in the literature of Itihas? Not living the life of dharma, that is considered to be sin. You know? So, uh, over there, Ram Bhagavan exemplifies nothing but absolute dharma in uh, in Ramayana. And Mahabharata, Bhagavan Krishna always yato dharma tato jaya. So dharma is considered to be the highest type. So when somebody is behaving against one's own dharma, that is considered to be sin in the levels of itihas. But when it comes to Vedic literature, when it comes to Vedas, what is sin according to Vedas? So, sin according to Vedas is when I am not able to abide in my own understanding that Prajnanam Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma. If I cannot abide in Jnanam, that is sin. So you see the layers of sin, how beautifully. And it all depends upon, the evolution of the jiva. As the jiva evolves, such is the abidance. And we shouldn't look at somebody and criticize their way of living, their way of functioning, their way of doing, because they could be in Pauranic state, they could be in Itihasic state, they could be in Vedic state. We don't know where they are. So, Mahapapachore, he can steal away all different types of sins. If it is somebody at the Puranic level, he will make them at Itihasic level. If somebody is at the Itihasic level, he will bring them to Vedic level. If somebody is at the Vedic level, he will give them Jnanam. So, Ambaditire, Mahapapachore, Munindraanukule, Sugandhakhya Shaile. And he stands on the Sugandha hills, most beautiful sight, and Munindraanukule, Anukule, Munindra, Muninam Indra. So, of all different types of people who come to this place, you see this picture over here, mysteries of Tiruchendur Murugan temple. The greatest mystery that we cannot even figure out is how Subramanya Bhagavan, when people come over there, anybody is eligible to get any type of mysterious experience. He is one of the mysterious uh, deities of Hinduism. Two places, one over here in Tiruchendur and other places Parni. It is said that Siddha Purushas come over here. He has Shakti Pasha Hasta. He has the greatest Shakti of Maya in his hand. And he can, this spear that you see in this picture, that is the power. That is Shakti power. And it can bestow any type of siddhis. Each devotee will have a unique type of power that they will walk away from. Unique Shakti will open up for that person to combat their own life problems. And if these rishis come over there, Muni Manana Shilavan, they will have unique powers, a window into occult sciences. There is the power of this glory of the Lord Guha. Hidden secrets will come out over here. Guhayam vasantam svabhasa lasantam. You reside in the very cave, we don't realize our own power. And these are not just some words to, in modern day, to say, you can climb the mountains. Literally, we can. We need to believe in that. Guhayam vasantam swabhasa lasantam. One who swabhasa, in one's own might and glory and prowess, lasantam. You shine in your own glory. And each one of us, he's capable of making each one of us shine in our own individual glory. Jana artim harantam, and you take away the sorrow of people. um, Harantam shrayamo guhamtam. I bow down to you. My ashraya is you. I surrender to you. Shrayamo guhamtam. This word guha, like I said, he's known as Guha Swami. He's known as the one who is the very secretive power hidden within. Only when we turn away our gaze from these worldly happenings and we look within, we will find that power, and that is what is reflected in the shloka as Munindra. Muninam Indra. Indra meaning the king of the gods. So we can become the king of Manana Shilavan. What is required is the power of our mind to move on in our life. That is a Guha Shakti. If somehow we can take this power, bring it to our mind, uplift our mind. In the chapter of meditation, Bhagavan Krishna says, your mind is your best friend and your mind is your worst enemy. So that is exactly what this Guha Swami represents. We go over there with whatever power that we seek, shelter that we seek. He gives that. But that mind has to want it. We have to convince our mind that there rests something greater. Why am I caught up in these little things? That really is Vedanta. Learning to drop these little things. And that is Vedanta. That's it. लसत् स्वर्ण गेहे नृणाम कामदोहे सुमस्तो बसत् संछन्न माणिक्य मंचे समुद्यत सहस्रार्कतुल्य प्रकाशम सदा भावये कार्तिकेयं सुरेशम. So, the description of Bhagavan's abode on Sugandha Hills. Now, you go over there, it's a tiny little hill, and you won't find what is described over here. This is the Manasik Kalpana. Shankaracharya ji, when he went over there, on this mountain, he saw that. See, spiritual experience starts with a vision. What do I want to see? Like, our fleshy eyes. We are going to work and we are on a highway. And we see some traffic piling up and said, oh no, there's traffic. And then we come closer and we realize, it's an accident. Now, some people will get angry at the person who got into accident. And then some people will chant Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhan Urvarukim Vadananmati Mukshimamita. May this person be well. You see the what the eye sees? Everybody sees the accident. Someone will curse that person and say doesn't know how to drive, creates accidents, delaying people, etc., etc. And some people, it's okay, I get delayed. May they be okay. The polar opposites of what the mind thinks. The event is the same. The interpretations are so many. This is Maya. This is the crux of Maya. Our mind consciously writes commentaries on all that it sees, feels, thinks, and experiences. This description of the abode of Bhagavan on Sugandha hills, this is what Shankaracharya ji sees. And this is what we have to allow our mind to see. We also need to graduate from the Pauranic vision of Bhagavan to the Itihasic vision of Bhagavan to Vedic Buddhi understanding of Brahman. But our spiritual journey has to start with a mental picture of the Shakti, the power. And that is what is over here in the shloka, is what is painted by words by Shankaracharya ji. Lasat Swarna Gehe Manikya Manche. You shine brilliantly, Lasat Swarna Gehe, in your golden abode, Manikya Manche, and it is studded with different types of gems, studded with it. And Sumanastoma Sanchanna, and not only that, but you are covered everywhere with divine flowers and fragrances. Now, see, this is the mind's interpretation of all divine things that the five senses of perception can create. Eyes have to see the most beautiful thing. What is the most beautiful thing? The treasures of the earth. What are the treasures of the earth? Gold, diamond, gems, rubies. For nose, what is the most beautiful? Divine fragrances. So each one of these five senses are taken. The most exalted experience that can be delivered from these senses are extracted, and with that a picture is painted of the Shakti. This is how beautiful it is. Thou art seated with the effulgence of thousand suns. And this is, imagine, this is the darshan that our Shankaracharya ji has. Who is he? He's the avatar of none other than Shivji. And he's seeing his own son's glory. So you are seated with the effulgence of thousands of sun. Samudyat, samyak, very well. Udyat, rising. Sahasra arka, arka, sun. Tulyam, prakasham. You are like the thousands of suns rising at the same time. Udyat Bhanu Sahasra Koti Sadrusham, in Meenakshi Pancharatram starts with like that. The same ideas are presented over here, that what can be talked about your effulgence, your glory. So that divine light is imagined over here. Thou art the answer to every desire of the heart, and thou fulfills the righteous desires of thy devotees. Nrunam kama dohe. You are literally the milker of the desires. You milk the best desires and you give them to Nrunam. Sada bhavaye kartikeyam suresham. And those devotees who come over there to Tiruchandur with great, great desires, and if these desires are righteous, because he is none other than the greatest Shakti, and the Shakti will always be on the side of uh, absolute truth. So if somebody goes with low base kamanas, Bhagavan will convert those and allow that person to grow into higher. But if somebody goes with divine, divine desires, Bhagavan will fulfill all of them. That is the glory of Kartikeya Bhagavan. Kartikeyam Suresham. Suranam Isham. You are the God of all gods, He Kartikeya. Um, Born out of, the Kritikas, the six divine maidens who had the great bhagya of raising this son, which is none other than the power of Bhagavan Shivji. रणदंसके मञ्जुलेत्यन्तशोणे मनोहारि लावण्यपीयूषपूर्णे मनःषट्पदो मे भवक्लेश तप्तः सदा मोदतां स्कन्दते पादपद्मे. So, um, beautifully over here, what is said? Let my mind like a bee, me manaha, shat padaha, shat six, pada, the feet. The honeybee has 6 feet and it goes from flowers to flowers, sucking out the very essence of the flower, the nectar. So, bhavat klesha taptaha, those let this mind like a bee which is burdened with domestic troubles become happy by hovering around thy lotus feet. Sada modatam skandate padapadme. You know, it's very unique. The honey bee, it has no desire of its own. There's only one desire in all honeybees, and that one desire is to make their queen happy, to surrender to the queen who has produced them. They will go from flower to flower to flower. They will pluck the essence of the flower as the nectar and the pollen. And she will bring that and create the most beautiful home, the beehive. It will deposit it, all for the sake of the queen bee. It individually has no desire. Thus, honey in our Shastra is considered to be the most noble food that we can consume because it has no desire. It is collected by thousands of jivas which have surrendered their own manokamana to their own creator. It is the glory of a honeybee. And thus when we do panchamrit, honey is used. In Abhishekam, honey is slobbered over the entire murti. It is expensive, but that honey, that organic substance has no kamana. And Panchamrut, all other things come from cow. And who is she? Kamadhenu. She's the wish fulfiller. That poor cow. She is murti of compassion. No matter how much the farmer abuses her, she will never create ill thoughts towards the farmer. She will stay away from him. If he's in trouble, she will go and help him. So the Panchamrut has all of these ingredients which take away all our kamana. That is why it is called Pancha Amrita. So this mind of mine, like a bee, which goes from flower to flower, is surrendered to her own creator. But me, on the other hand, I go from desire to desire, thought to thought for my own sake. I have not found my own personal altar to whom I can surrender. Just like the bee surrenders, oh Subramanya Bhagavan, He Kartikeya, Sada Modatam Skanda Te Pada Padme. May my mind come to surrender to your lotus feet. Sada, He Skanda, Sada me Manaha. Modatam Tava Pada Padme. May my mind, oh Skanda, may it always seek refuge. May it always seek refuge. Whatever we do, whatever journey we embark upon, may we remember Bhagavan. We start the car, may we remember Bhagavan. When we are driving, may we remember Bhagavan. You know, people chant Hanuman Chalisa, Vishnu Sahasranam, Lalita Sahasranam, Stotrams, this, that. May my mind be flooded. Yes, I'm going to work. Yes, I have to engage in various karmas. May I willfully engage positively, remembering you, thinking about you. Sada modatam skandate pada padme ranathas. Over here, then it is said Sada modatam skandate pada padme ranadhamsake manjule अत्यंत शोणे मनोहारी lavanya piyusha purne. Hey Purne, you this complete piyusha, having this complete nectar of ambrosia, nectar of beauty, which attracts all the devotees and everything. Manohari Lavanya, this very divine, very attractive Lavanya, the one who attracts people towards it. Oh Bhagavan, may you remove all of this. The jiggling over here, it is said that which are your lotus feet, which are adorned with the jinglings and the ringlets made of rings and beads, red in color, indicating the grace. There is actually pun in the words over here. Our minds are continuously jingling with all different types of desires. And red meaning it is filled with rajoguna. If the rajas has to be there, let that rajoguna, the tingling of my mind, may it be transferred to the feet which are adorned with the feet ornament which makes sound. So may your feet ornaments. Take away the jiggling of my mind, the rajas of my mind. This is the uh, pun in the words over here. You know, this stotram, it can give us bhukti, it can give us mukti, and it can give us complete sayujya yukti. So it heals our sthula sharira, it heals our sukshma sharira, and it invigorates deep imagination that allows us to go towards Bhagavan. So here are all these devotees who are coming to, in this picture you see, rishis, all of them who come to Skanda, who dwells either on the mountains, he dwells in the forest, he dwells on the banks of the ocean, like our mind, which dwells in the forest of thoughts, or it rests on the mountain of ego, or it stands on the banks of the shore of desires. The dwelling places of Skanda are symbolic representation of where we are stuck in this world. This is the beauty of Kartikeya Bhagavan. He's always on the mountain. It is said he's on the mountain because he's Senapati. He's the leader of the leader of, he's a warrior, the chief of the warriors of Devaloka, of Indra Bhagavan. Indra Bhagavan didn't like it, but what can Indra do? There is nobody powerful than Skanda, and Indra Bhagavan had to make him Senapati. And thus, he has the Shakti to conquer anything and everything. And the Asuras are, like I have said, they're symbolic representation of all different Asuric tendencies within us. सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानां क्वणित्किङ्किणीमेखलाशोभमानां लसद्धेमपट्टे लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमानां कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्. Now, from here, the next 10 shlokas are just mind dwelling on various parts of Bhagavan. It is as though Shankaracharya ji is doing by chanting this stotram, he is doing a full puja of the body of Shanmukha Bhagavan, of Kartikeya Bhagavan, of Guhaswami, that may my mind be reminded of the powers which are within the same Murti as mine. So, over here, Skandate Katim Bhavaye. O Skanda, I meditate Bhavaye Te Katim. Katim, your waist. And Swarna Ab Divya Ambaraihi Bhasamanam. And you are cladded in very beautiful Suvarna Abha, meaning like a golden hue is your clothes, like Pitambaram. He wears the yellow lower vastram, and Bhasamanam Kvarnat Kinkini Mekhala, and your waist is the waist ornament, Mekhala. It is studded with all these jinglings of these little bells. When we walk, our gait is the movement in this entire life. Our movement, our gait in this life, we go from one place to other, and the feet continuously takes us from place to place to place. But what places do we go? We go to the places which are ordained by our own mind. Wherever our mind desires, we end up going. So the tingling on The bells which are on his waist are the symbolic representation to the sounds and the desires that the mind creates for the feet to go in that direction. So it is created by that, wearing a shiny gold belt over the golden silk cloth. So Devata is the one who is standing, who is seated, and all the jingling has come to an end. You know, there is a Kati Sutra in our tradition. You see in this picture, there is a reason why I have put this picture. This In this picture, there is a Siddha Purusha known as Bhogar Rishi. And this Bhogar Rishi, he's a Siddha Purusha, and he can give darshan even today. Actually, his samadhi is there in the temple, in a cave in the temple of Kartikeya Bhagavan in Parni. In Parni, he has taken a form of Bala Subramanyam. He is a young boy, brahmachari, and he is known as Dandapani. In this picture, you see, he's not carrying a veil. As a brahmachari, he has a danda in his hand, a stick, a bamboo stick. So, this Bhogar Rishi was a great alchemist, and he knew different types of medicines. And there are 9 different powers which are residing in the Vanaspati Bhag, in the kingdom of plants, in botany. Certain plants have amazing powers. He took all of those and he made a a ball out of it, and he kneaded it, it is said, more than 2 3,000 times until it became solid. And he created the murti of Subramanya Bhagavan, which is in the temple in Parni. And that murti, when the priest, when they do abhishekam, that abhishekam, when it runs through the body, it will have the powers of these 6 vanaspati in it. To have that uh, abhisheka prasad, tirtha, is considered to have healing properties to heal us. It is most divine to consume it. And it is said in Kali Yuga, this murti is decaying. And the kati, the waist of Skanda Bhagavan in Parni, it has become very narrow because of the desires are so many that the upper and the lower, in Lalita Sahasranam, the body is made up of 3 kuta. Kantadya Kati Paryantam Madhya Kuta. From here to Kati is Madhya Kuta. Srimad Vagbhava Kutaika Swarupa Mukha Pankaja. So this is Vagbhava Kuta. And then this is Madhyama, from throat up to the waist. And Katyati Kati Paryanta. And Adho is from the waist till the feet, or is the third part. It is said that the desires are so much in Kali Yuga that the body cannot keep up with the demands and the fancies of the mind, that the feet are going to separate from the body. This is a meditation on the waist of the Lord. We have to understand the importance of our youth and what all places we have been to in our youth and where we choose to go continuously. When a person becomes elderly and when they fall down and they break the bone by the waist. It is the beginning of the end of that person's journey. That bone in the waist, once it breaks in elderly age, we cannot walk and go to places. Life becomes miserable in bed. This is the vision, Angam Galitam, Shankaracharya ji, when he says, Dashana Vihinam Jatam Tundam, Vruddho Yati Gruhitva Dandam, Tadapina Munjati Asha Pindam. As a young boy, he has grabbed a danda. That may I live a life of danda. Danda meaning, may I live a life of Swa Shakti, my own power. May I not go to unnecessarily places and create more sounds in my own mind. Such a beautiful meditative shloka it is. May I not engage in unnecessarily creation of more and more desires. That is why, in the South Indian temples, the entry to the temple, it is called Gopuram, and it's a huge structure which rises up high into the sky. Gonam Indriyani. Go meaning Indriya. Puram, city of senses. So who are we? So when you go to either Madurai or you go to Kanchi or you go to Chidambaram or you go to Kalahasti and you see this Gopuram has intricate carving. What are those carvings? These are the stories of the deity of that temple. Feet is the entry point into the temple. Our feet create our own stories of our life. Our autobiography is what? Wherever our feet have taken us and whatever we have interpreted according to our mind from what we have seen in the places that we have been to. That's Gopura. And that creates the very jingling on the inside. And here is the Skanda Murti, the very form of Bhagavan. Interestingly, in our culture, first Kati Sutra is put on a little baby. You can see in this picture, he's wearing langot. So the cloth is tied to that langot, Kati Sutra. In olden days, they used to make some pasha and it would be on the part of the Kati. Even today, you can go to various places and you can buy that, and that it's mercury infused with all these 9 things. You have to buy it from a person who knows what it is. Uh, so they used to wear this on the waist for controlling the desires. Mercury is what? Mercury is none other than buddhi. So that buddhi has to remain above the lower form. That's why they used to put that little piece of mercury. But in this shloka, Shankaracharya ji has converted that into ringing bells and beads. Because the mind is raging with all different types of thoughts and ideas, etc., etc. That's the beauty of this stotram. At one end, at once we see this beauty of Bhagavan, but he has given us so many pointers on thinking about us. So I was hoping to get to shloka number 18. I'm 8 short, but what to do? There is so much information in This, we have to just enjoy it. That's all we can do. We just, I have to enjoy speaking, you have to enjoy listening, and after this, we have to just dwell in it. May I dwell in this. May my mind, even a little bit, if my mind changes towards Bhagavan, bahut ho gaya. You know, so beautiful. I get a picture every day from Dwarika and from Dakor. So yesterday, Dakor Bhagwan Krishna had Bodhana next to him. Yesterday was his Jayanti, Bodhana Jayanti. For those of you who know the story, the power, I was yesterday all day, I was thinking about this devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. He wanted Krishna and he gets old. And he goes to Dwarka and he says, Bhagavan, you have given me this body, it is getting old. How am I going to do your darshan next year? Have lauje gadu sad, bolyo jagat, jagat no nath. In the Bodhana, there's a Bhavani, 52 shlokas of Ranchod Bhavani. Ranchod tu Rangilo Nath, Vishwasakarno Taro Bhar, જગતમાં પ્રગટ્યો વારંવાર કમ સરાયને થાય જાણ તેથી કીધું તરત પ્રયાણ ગોકુળમાં જઈ કીધો વાસ નંદ યશોદા જીની પાસ આહાહા. And I was thinking about just that one picture of Bodhana next to, Ranchodrai, Dwarkadish. And here is this old man who goes and complains to Bhagavan Krishna in Dwarika. And Bhagavan Krishna says, come next year and you bring a bullock cart. And he's a poor man. Where is he going to get a bullock cart? He found a cart which somebody had abandoned. Then he found two bullocks which were also abandoned out of old age. So he took the two old bullocks and abandoned bullock cart and he sits on that cart and he's poor. He doesn't know what to take. Like Sudama ji took, like some beaten rice, poha. But Bodhana said, my whole life I have nothing except Tulsi. I know Tulsi is very dear to you. You're marrying her. So every year he would sow seeds of tulsi, and when that tulsi would rise, his whole life was the upasana of growing tulsi, thinking Krishna only wants this. And he's taken this as a gift. And in Dwarika, the king of Dwarika thought that he has come to steal Bhagavan. This is in 16th century. So they lock the door and they tie. And at midnight, all the locks open, and the Murti of Dwarkadish comes out, and he tells Bodhano, let's go. And, Gadu hake jagdadar kaho pachi shu lage var. Umret pakdi limda dart, meethi thai gayi te tatkar. In Umret, there is a neem tree. And Bhagavan Krishna held that, broke it to brush in the morning. And that neem tree is still there. Half of that neem tree is sweet, half is bitter. So I was thinking, I was looking at these shlokas and I was so reminded of this shloka with Bodhana. And yesterday happened to be Bodhana Jayanti, which was celebrated in Dakor in Gujarat. And the old age, Bhagwan comes. So we have to cage Bhagwan in our thoughts. That's all. May we be blessed by Skanda Bhagavan. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.